back to another episode of Lost in the Farmer's Market Garden Life, where today we're talking about this lovely plant here. Here's some of the new foliage. Don't mind my recycling container. That's what the older foliage tends to look like. Green, new foliage, new foliage. Oh yeah. Now its scientific name is Loropetalum chinense variety, or var, period, rubra. Its common name is Chinese fringe flower, and we can see how it got that name. But let's the tree format. I trained it up into tree format, and as you can see, it is an explosion of color in spring. And then the trunks are like whatever, and then there's a spray of it shooting out over here, and it's fantastic. Now I could cut this down by half, and it would sprout, and I'd have it the color at head height all over again next year. It's an option. But anyway, the name Loropetalum comes from the Greek words loron, strap, and petalon, leaf or petal. Which, I mean, look at these petals. Yeah, it's probably petals, but still, you get the point. It's in the Hamamelidaceae family, which is the witch hazel family. You know, witch hazel. They also have flowers like this, except they're a little chunkier, if I recall correctly. It's been a while since I've cared for or grown a witch hazel. Witch hazel, you probably know, is that astringent stuff you buy to cure up skin problems in the bottle. The plants are beautiful, don't get me wrong. I would love to have me a witch hazel out here, but we haven't gotten that far yet. Anyway, Chinese French flower, or Loropetalum as I prefer to call it, is native to China, Japan, and Southeast Asia. It is not considered an invasive, thankfully, though I'm sure some principality or location has said, no, it's invasive. Whatever. It's hardy in USDA zones 7 through 10. It is considered an evergreen because it is. I mean, these leaves are on there year round. They just kind of get this color with age. So, whatever. They're typically some version of this red throughout their entire existence. Most of their existence. It prefers a pH between 4.5 and 6.0. Okay? Its exposure is full sun to part shade, and in this case, its base is getting shade, but it's grown over the roof of the house, and now the top is getting full sun, so it's a canopy, which is exactly what I was shooting for. Birds love to hang out up there, and occasionally I have to pull a cat out of there, but, yeah, it's really pretty. Super pretty. I'm going to back up a little bit here. So, its height can be 3 to 6 feet, or its width can be 3 to 6 feet, which a lot of the garden guides say that, but mine is easily 12 feet. Because, again, tree format for the win. These... I guess the dogs don't like this presentation. Whatever. The show goes on, folks. So anyway, it's also known as Chinese fringe bush, or fringe bush for short. There are the common variety that you'll find has green foliage year round, and will have white flowers. The pink variety, this lovely thing here, did not really show up in the USA until the 1980s, but the original white flowered version was 1880. This shrub does not like clay compacted soil, so just keep that in mind if you're planning to plant this. And additionally, this particular specimen, the variety rubra, tends to bloom in late February, depending on how warm it is, through April. Now, I suspect this show might be over by the time we get to April. I'm not sure. But for what it lasts, it's amazing, especially when the afternoon sunlight shines through it, It's really great. Now, about this plant, we're going to zoom in because I am holding the camera, so we're in jiggle vision. Anyway, it's not as dirty as you thought it was. Anyway, what makes this plant particularly great is that you can shear it to shape, and it doesn't mind. It'll regrow from whatever shearing butchery you do to it. I only chop off, as you can see where I cut here, I only cut off what I absolutely have to. And where I cut here, you can see that it's split and it's coming back out, and this will have flowers. Oh, it's got a little flower on it. It'll have more flowers on it next year. I have to get it out of the gutter system, but that's just a trade-off we have here. Now, this plant is special to me, though. And here's a little story time. Story time with TKG. Anyway, this plant was actually one of the last plants I bought from my favorite nursery before they closed down, and those dogs are going at it. Good lord. One of the last plants, this one and an Indian hawthorn, which I have out in the garden under the ginkgo. And this plant has done really well. Unfortunately, the nursery in question was Eastover Garden Center, and I bought this on discount from them because they were closing and they had to get rid of their inventory. But, and unfortunately, we're losing independently owned nurseries left and right as of late. It's sad. It's sad to see a local business close. But anyway, this plant has blossomed and grown and done well, and it's not producing rando babies anywhere, so obviously it's not doing the claimed invasive thing, but it is a bright spot in the spring for me every year. I mean, could you possibly ask for something better at making pink color? I mean, even roses blush at this, you know? But anyway, that's just the introspective of how I got this plant. Every plant tells a story. So, folks, if you have any thoughts on Loropetalum, you've grown it, you like it, you hate it, whatever, please leave a comment. I love to hear what you think. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe and like. And as always, folks, you can hit up the Forge blog for more information. But as always, thanks for watching.